In terms of my personal aspirations, I definitely want to compete against Loud this year.
Yeah, I wanted to join LEV because they have ASPAS, Loud. I mean, Loud is always loud. Like they've always been able to compete. It'll be interesting to see them without ASPAS though, because I think ASPAS is.
O BZKA falou sobre as expectativas do MIBR para essa temporada de 2024. O mercado noturno está ativo no Valorant, e se diferente de mim você teve alguma sorte e vê alguma skin que você quer, eu vou te passar a cal para você comprar essa skin com mais desconto ainda. Te apresento o Rei dos Coins, lá você pode personalizar o valor ideal para o seu Valorant Points, o valor que você tá precisando para comprar aquela skin, e ainda ganhar cashback em cima desse valor. Não perde tempo e acesse o reidoscoins.com.br. Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? O VCT Kickoff está cada vez mais perto de começar e as coletivas de imprensa estão rolando a todo vapor. A Sentinel será o primeiro adversário da Loud nesse Kickoff, e o ZELLSIS falou sobre enfrentar a equipe brasileira e também a possibilidade de enfrentar a Leviathan na fase de grupos, e deixou no ar aí até um certo medo de duelar com aspas.
This is a two-part type of question. First off, what are your thoughts on just Sentinels being in Group B for the upcoming kickoff event, and the kind of teams that you guys are going to be taking on for this first phase of the competition, them being Loud, 100 Thieves, and also Leviathan, and also another part of that is where do you see the current level of Sentinels compared to the rest of the league at this moment in time, and why?
Yeah. I mean, our group we obviously have. I mean, on paper we have the group of death, right? 100 Thieves just got boost deal. They have like the utmost confidence right now. Loud. I mean, Loud is always loud. Like they've always been able to compete. It'll be interesting to see them without ASPAS though, because I think ASPAS is. I don't know. ASPAS is like the most talented player I think I've ever seen play the game, just like raw skill wise. Um, and then Lev is kind of like the dark horse for me in my opinion. They're just kind of like a team of like everyone. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like you just like look at that team and you're like, okay, that's a team, you know? So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they play. Obviously they're all good players. It's just they have to, find their footing. Um but yeah, our group, in my opinion, is definitely the group of death. It'll be fun though. I mean, it's interesting how I don't know how the groups are drawn or what, but I mean, I always have fun competing, and especially against Loud, 100 Thieves, and Lev, it'll be fun. And then how we match up to everyone else is, I mean, I'd hope that we have like a really good head start. Like um, the guys have been putting in a ton of time and everything like that, and every team is like still like finding their footing, like they're all new teams, everything like that. So I mean, we're just gonna have to see how everyone plays against each other.
And I just want to know how you feeling about Loud, about Leviathan, and most of it Leviathan, because I'm from Colombia, so I just want to know how you're feeling about like or Latinos fandom of that team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to play Loud, especially because like we lost to them last, or yeah, like C9 lost to them last year. So I kind of want revenge on them, even if they don't have Aspis. And then obviously with Lev, they have Aspis, so kind of went from like one juggernaut to another. But I think any team that Aspis is on, he'll always just be really good. Um, so I think before I said that Lev was like my dark horse. They still kind of are. And I think I think they'll be good like out the gate, like just like random, like they'll just be good out the gate. I think with Aspis especially. But it'll be interesting to see how they kind of like develop for me. So I mean, yeah, I'm definitely always, I wouldn't say like scared to play Aspis, but it's definitely kind of nerve-wracking. It's like even though he's like coming, like you still have to like, kill him. Um and it's just hard. He's just like a very talented player. And then like the other people around him are very like supportive role players in a sense, and
Okay.
I feel like they have just like the perfect mix. So that's Lev to me. Yeah, I think Lev will be good.
O Valim da G2, ao ser perguntado sobre quem ele quer enfrentar, citou a Loud e o Aspas.
After all the roster moves made within the Americas teams, which teams do you think look the strongest, and which ones would you love to face off against?
Instantly what comes to mind when we talk about like roster mania during the offseason is NRG. They picked up Ethan and Demon One from the champions winning roster. So that's obviously a really strong team. And then you throw in a good coach and good supporting staff and you have a deadly team. So I'm very excited to face off against them. I think they have one of the strongest teams going into Americas. Also, I have to mention Leviathan as well because they made some blockbuster moves, getting ASPAS, getting Hex, from my previous teammate, and I know how good he is and his work ethic. So he'll be a great addition to that team and kind of that molding piece for that roster. So I think both of those teams really made some of the best moves. In terms of my personal aspirations, I definitely want to compete against Loud this year. I loved watching them compete and loved watching them, win champions, and just to have that opportunity to showcase my talent against theirs is going to be super exciting for me. So I can't wait.
O Conk foi campeão mundial com a EG em 2023 e entrou na Leviathan recentemente no lugar do NZR. Durante a entrevista, citou o Aspas como um dos motivos para ter escolhido ir para a Leviathan.
Good night.
Hello.
Last year you won champions, so I imagine you have received other offers. Why did you choose Leviathan?
Because I wanted to stay in Americas. Honestly, this year I did get offers from like other regions, but wasn't really able to pursue them early in the off season. But yeah, I wanted to join LEV because they have ASPAS, they have all these great players that I believe we have a chance to win another world championship, and that's what I wanted to pursue at the end of the day. And
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I just wanted to ask, now you have a chance to play with ASPAS. You played against him last year. What are your expectations for this year in terms of what you can achieve with this level of firepower, and how's your experience been like working with player of his caliber?
I mean, I hate to put like expectations on us because I think last year showed like when you don't put expectations on yourself or anything like that, you tend to succeed more. So honestly, not going to put any expectation on it, but I will say working out with Aspas and kind of seeing his perspective and like how he wants to play the game and stuff like that is like cool. And definitely like I get to learn from him and he can also pick up like a couple things from me with like how I would use my util and stuff like that to like make each other better.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you this season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Pedro Romero. Nice to talk to you, Com. I just wanna, although the time in which you've been a part of Leviathan is short as of this moment in time, I want to get a sense of how you would compare, being with this lineup, which consists of world champions, including yourself, to the EG squad from last season. If you could give us a rough estimate as to what that comparison is like, and also a follow up on that. The recent announcement was made concerning Leviathan's placement in the group stage, which consists of 100 Thieves, which also has your former teammate in Boostio and also Loud, Aspa's former team, and also Sentinels. What are your expectations on taking on those three teams in the group stage?
Okay, yeah. I don't think for me personally, like you can't really compare the two just because like I think last season like we went from 1-4 to Miracle Run winning champs, I feel like comparing the teams isn't fair in a way. I think both teams have strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, I mean, I think this LEV team has potential to be world champion, but it also has like the same qualities as some of the EG team. But I just think it's kind of hard to compare the two because it's literally so hard to compare. But for the group, I would say like obviously I'm really excited to play Boosty and Zix Tony. I mean, we've already been talking back and forth, like already on Twitter. They're starting to send stuff, and I think it's cool. Like, it's like I've never had like
super close friends that I've played against in like meaningful matches. So, you know, I think it's going to be super cool to be able to play against them, honestly.
O BZKA, que representou o MIBR na coletiva de imprensa, foi bastante perguntado sobre as mudanças da equipe e as expectativas para essa temporada de 2024.
What are the overall changes that MIBR forces this split, and how has the team changed considerably? What challenge do those MIBR anticipate for facing this split, and how many changes has been made to address this challenge?
Right. Thank you very much. I really think that we're gonna have a lot of challenges for this season. Since it's a long season, we're gonna have to be able to have new stuffs for every match. We can't just go and play the same game from the beginning to the end of the tournament. So you always need to be renewing yourselves or game during the whole year. And I think that's going to be the big challenge about not getting and doing the same things, the same stuff, and just stop evolving and stop getting better. It's just not an option for us. So I really think that this year, since it's a longer year than last year, it's going to demand from us a lot of proactive, a lot of study about the game, and just have some open-minded for the competition, so we can keep evolving during the season.
Muito obrigado pela respuesta.
Muchas gracias.
Question mostly goes about, the thought process behind bringing in those two new guys into the team compared to last season, them being Artisan and Mazine. And so you mentioned about, adjusting and fixing the issues that the team has encountered from last year into this year. And so what has been the thought process behind bringing in those two players into the team for this year? And on top of that, how would you compare this lineup compared to last year's lineup, in addition to that?
Hello, thank you very much for the question. Let me go about it. Okay, first thing is about talking about Mazin Artisan, right? Yeah. So we did change two players and one of the staff. So we have Fraude coming with me as well. So there are three different pieces working our team right now. And we have changed our EGL. That was Maurice and now is Mazin. We have changed our duelist. That was before Heat, and now he's Artisan. GCC played as duelist for a short period of time as well. But our main core, the way we were playing last year is way different from the way we are playing right now. Mainly because we have changed some really key roles in the roster. So even if we kept three players, our game system is totally different, and that's something can surprise a lot of the enemy teams, the opposite teams. So Mazin is a really great EGL. He's a guy that brings the leadership with him, and it's natural for him to be the leader from the young boys, and that's something we missed a little bit during the last season, and I think Mazin is doing a great job on that. While Artisan is a really young talent from Brazil. Many people didn't know much about him from international scenarios because he haven't never played international event before. Just a sanction that was placed in Brazil, and he's a really good player. He's very talented individually, and at the same time, his mindset and the way he deals with everything is just so mature for his age. And I think he's a very good player. Something who have added to the team much more than just his own skills, but as his personality as well. So I'm very confident on the evolution from our team from last year to this year. I think we are very more mature right now, and we are more ready to be able to perform one whole year of competition for us.
Mas é isso, pessoal, o vídeo vai ficando por aqui. Deixa sua opinião sobre tudo isso aí nos comentários. Aquele abraço, até o próximo vídeo.